we're beginning a grand circle tour of the Magic Kingdom, with stops along the way in Frontierland and Fantasyland. Sit tight and keep your hands, arms, feet, and legs well inside the train. We're currently departing Main Street Station. And if you're missing those friendly faces already, not to worry. On this train, it's never goodbye. It's always see you real soon.
Para su seguridad, permanezca sentado y mantenga las manos, brazos, pies y piernas dentro del tren. Y cuide a los pequeños. Gracias.
Friends, I'm so delighted you've joined us today. There's nothing I enjoy more. See, there was a time, not so long ago, that I was just a young fella on Main Street, with a balloon in my hand and a wish in my heart, that someday I'd be the conductor of this train. And wouldn't you know it, with a bit of gumption and a dash of magic, here I am. So believe it when I say that around here, anything is possible. See what I mean? Hope you packed a compass, because that, folks, is the sound of adventure. Adventureland, I should say. Whether navigating treehouse, there's always plenty to explore here in Adventureland. Then partner, saddle up, because this here's Frontierland. Home to cowpokes, campfires, and country bears, this outpost is chock full of tall tales and an even taller mountain. We call it Big Thunder. Catch a ride on its runaway trains and you'll see why. On a more musical note, just ahead, Princess Tiana is striking up the band for her big party. She made me promise to tell you, you're invited. Frontierland Station, everyone, so sit tight and hold those horses until we come to a complete stop. If you disembark, please carry your strollers all the way on the platform before unfolding. Watch your step now. This is Frontierland Station.
Hello, friends. As we approach that station, please make sure we remain fully seated until the train comes to a full and complete stop, and I give you the all clear to disembark. Again, friends, at this time, please remain fully seated and aboard the train. Almost, sir. Remain seated, please. Remain seated. Okay.
Howdy, folks. If you're just joining us, a hearty welcome aboard. We're heading for our next stop, Fantasyland, before carrying on to Main Street, USA. Everybody stay seated and keep your hands and arms, feet and legs safely inside the train. And as always, keep an eye on your little ones.
Para su seguridad, permanezca sentado y mantenga las manos, brazos, pies y piernas dentro del tren. Y cuide a los pequeños. Gracias.
On that railroad all the livelong day, so bet they'll be full steam ahead in no time. Hopefully with some good bells and whistles. The change in scenery means we've left the rattle and rumble of that old gold mine behind and entered my favorite leg of the journey. Lush wilderness, calm waters, and untamed beauty. Folks, we're in nature's wonderland. Isn't it something? Just think of the extraordinary things to see and do in these woods. Hiking trails, bird calls, fireflies, and starry nights. Setting out for adventure at sunrise and telling the tale around a campfire that night. Considering how wonderful things are out here, I'm fortunate that some of my closest friends call it home. That village is a truly special place. Folks, we're just about out of the woods and into the forest. The enchanted forest of Fantasyland, where magic... Listen. Hear that?
There it is! On that big metal snake.
Oh, sweet sir, that's not a snake. It's a train.
Train, huh? Well, I think it's finally time I trained my shadow to stay put. Hey! Get back here, Shadow! Shadow!
Oh, Tinkerbell, we really must find some stronger friends.
Told you it's enchanted, and not just the forest. From the tips of castle spires to the sands under the sea, magic and happily ever afters await around every corner in Fantasyland. Friends, travelers, children of all ages, we're coming down the track and headed straight... Spectacularific Fantasyland Storybook Circus. This is the place to soar with Dumbo, or join Goofy in his stunt plane for some airborne acrobatics. This station is also your gateway to the rest of Fantasyland and Tomorrowland. Now, please wait until the train has come to a complete stop. Gather your juggling pins, unicycles, and carry your strollers away from the platform before unfolding. That way we can start loading up for the next leg of our trip. For those disembarking, please watch your step and thanks for traveling with us. I hope you join us again real soon. If you're staying aboard, our next stop is Main Street Station.
Please make sure we are remaining fully seated until the train comes to a full stop, and I give you the order. Get ready to remain fully seated after the time. Yeah, we're just moving slowly. Please remain seated. Still a little ways to go. Remain seated. Almost there.
Looks like we're on our way, and I'm so glad to have you with us. Next leg of our journey takes us to Main Street, USA. We'll head for Frontierland after that. Stay seated and keep your hands and arms, feet and legs inside the train at all times.
Pies y piernas dentro del tren y cuide a los pequeños. Gracias.
Next up is a place that's always ahead of the curve, and not just because we're on the straight.
Unidentified users detected and upload content area. Scanning. Calculating. Locomotive maintaining trajectory. Intervention not required. Users, please proceed to Tron Light Cycle run for upload. Once digitized, you may board your light cycle and join the games. Fair warning, users. Competition is fierce and fast. Stick together. It's your only hope for victory.
And that's the secret that makes intergalactic travel possible. So simple once you hear it, right? Yes, sirree, in this place of boundless optimism, the possibilities are endless. You might say the sky's the limit, but even that is no obstacle in Tomorrowland. Our trip around the Magic Kingdom is almost complete. I can't thank you enough for spending part of your day with me. And I hope you've enjoyed your journey as much as I've appreciated being a part of it. We're now approaching our most charming destination, Main Street, USA. A place where the only thing sweeter than the townsfolk...
Hello, Princess Everybody. Please make sure all feet and legs are fully inside the train at all times. Again, I do need all feet and legs fully inside the train.
Be seated until it comes to a complete stop. Then pick up your belongings and carefully disembark. If you have strollers, please take them over on the platform so new passengers can safely hop aboard. It'd be mighty kind of you. And while we're being neighborly, what say we give our fellow travelers a friendly wave hello? This is Main Street Station, after all. Welcome to Main Street, USA.
Just a little further, please remain fully seated toward the train or all the way inside the train, please. Remain seated.
We are on that train.
Remain seated, please. Remain.
port side. That river town we're passing is frontier land. A few years back, it was no more than a boom town carved out of the wilderness by a handful of settlers. This time, well on its way to becoming a fine.
Beyond the village, up that hill, is their sacred burial ground. And those who fall in battle are placed atop the traditional bed of death. After nightfall, they'll return to mourn the great warriors who brought honor to the tribe.
Deck watch. Shoals to port and starboard. Engine room, steady on.
We're entering shallow water, but there's no cause for worry. Sam knows every shoal and shallow, every snag and sandbar in this part of the river, and he'll navigate us through to safe water. You wouldn't steer us wrong, would you, Sam?
I believe we ought never to do wrong, Captain. Especially when others are looking. Leadsman, sing out.
What an SB!
My feeling is, these days, there's a lot less frontier and a lot more civilization than is truly necessary. Leadsman, give me a depth reading. Sing out.
By the mark, halfway upward, no bottom, safe water, safe and safe.
You see that brick mansion back over yonder there in the woods? I've heard folks hereabouts say it's haunted. They say it was built on sacred Indian burial ground, but now it's filled with spirits. If you ask me, I'd say the ones telling those tales are the ones filled with spirits. If you want proof, just ask them. They got it. About 100 proof, I reckon. And whatever you do, don't strike any matches if they aim to breathe in your direction. And you won't just be seeing ghosts, you'll be joining. We're approaching Liberty Square, which is home port for us. We'll be putting into dock shortly, so those of you on the upper two decks might be of a mind to collect all your parcels and head to the lower deck. Got young'uns who want to take them in hand before they get out of hand. On behalf of the captain, myself, and the crew, thanks for flying the waterways with us. I hope I see you next time around the river bend.
Thanks, Sam, and thank you, everyone, for traveling the rivers of America with us today.
Engine room. Approach levee at 1/4 steam. Man the bow line. Pursers, check brake and cargo. All hands prepare to dock. All passengers, stand by to go ashore.
Welcome back to Liberty Square. At this time, please gather your personal belongings and take small children by the hand as you start making your way down to the lowest level of the ship. That is where you will find our one and only exit today.